Level 1, Trash, V6 Mustang Camaro Challenger. Walk into any rental car lot and there it sits, wearing the body of a legend with the heart of a disappointment. The badges say Mustang, Camaro, Challenger, names that should make people step back. Then you fire it up, and the exhaust sounds like a lawnmower with ambitions. 300 horsepower sounds impressive until a Honda Accord pulls up next to you at a stoplight and walks away without trying. These are muscle cars for people who want the Instagram photo without understanding what muscle means. The rear tires are skinny because there's no power worth putting down. It accelerates fine for merging onto highways, and that's where the performance story ends. You're driving a billboard that advertises a product you're not actually selling. Modern, muscle-inspired sedans. Dodge Charger SXT. The one that looks exactly like a Hellcat until you check the badge. That aggressive hood scoop? Decorative. Those wide fenders? Covering normal width tires. The V6 under the hood makes adequate power for grocery runs, while the body screams, "I'm dangerous" to nobody in particular. Park it next to an actual muscle car, and the difference is obvious. Real muscle cars sit lower because they need bigger brakes. Real muscle cars have wider rear tires because the power demands it. This is Halloween costume muscle, all visual theater with nothing behind the curtain. Your uncle drives one and genuinely believes it's fast because the speedometer goes to 160. Before we hit level 2, make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell. Real muscle car territory starts now, and you don't want to miss where things get serious. Level 2, Bad, Base V8, Mustang GT, early 2010s. Finally, an actual V8. The 4.6-liter makes real V8 noises, which is a massive upgrade from the V6's vacuum cleaner impression. It's quick enough to chirp the tires in first gear if you're aggressive, slow enough that you'll never worry about losing your license. This is entry-level muscle, the baseline that proves you understand the assignment without acing the test. The live rear axle turns every pothole into a handling adventure. The interior plastic quality suggests Ford saved money everywhere that didn't make noise or go fast. But it's real muscle car DNA, V8, rear-wheel drive, affordable, American. Just the least impressive version of all those things. Dodge Challenger RT. The 5.7 Hemi makes all the right sounds and not quite enough power for the 4,200 pounds it's pushing. Mash the throttle and it moves with determination rather than violence. Take it to a corner, and it responds like you just asked it to do calculus. The RT exists for people who want the 1970 aesthetic without 1970 performance, which is good because that's exactly what it delivers. It looks absolutely perfect sitting still. Retro styling that actually works. Proportions that photograph beautifully, presence that turns heads in parking lots. Then you drive it and remember, this is a nostalgia piece, not a performance machine. But sometimes looking cool matters more than going fast, and the RT understands that assignment. Level 3, Mid, Chevrolet Camaro SS. 455 horsepower from a 6.2-liter V8, and suddenly we're having a different conversation. The SS doesn't just accelerate, it shoves you back into the seat and holds you there while the speedometer needle climbs with genuine urgency. The exhaust note hits that perfect American V8 burble that makes people turn around to see what's coming. Magnetic suspension means it actually handles now. Point it at a corner, and instead of praying, you can actually enjoy the experience. The brakes work, the tires grip. It's a complete performance package that happens to look like a muscle car rather than a muscle car that accidentally goes fast. The only problem? You can't see anything. The blind spots have blind spots. Changing lanes requires faith, mirrors, and probably a prayer. Ford Mustang GT, Coyote 5.0. The Coyote engine is what happens when Ford engineers get inspired. 460 horsepower that screams to a 7,500 revolutions per minute redline like it's auditioning for a Ferrari commercial. This V8 doesn't just make power down low and give up at high revs like traditional American engines. It pulls hard everywhere and then keeps pulling when you think it's done. Independent rear suspension means it finally drives like it was designed this century. The chassis feels balanced, the steering communicates, and the whole car rewards you for actually driving it hard instead of just pointing it straight. This is the muscle car for people who discovered corners exist and decided they matter. Level 4. Okay. Dodge Challenger Scat Pack. 485 horsepower from a 6.4-liter Hemi in a car that weighs as much as regret and sounds like freedom. The Scat Pack is hilariously fast in straight lines and hilariously incompetent everywhere else, which makes it perfect. Nail the throttle from a stoplight and the rear tires convert expensive rubber into theatrical smoke while bystanders pull out phones. This is muscle car purity without apology. Too much power, not enough chassis, maximum entertainment. It's not trying to lap Nürburgring or impress Europeans. It exists to make noise, light up tires, and remind you that not everything needs to make sense. Sometimes, stupid amounts of power in a straight line is enough. Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. 650 supercharged horsepower backed by suspension and brakes that can actually handle it. The ZL1 is what happens when Chevy's engineering team gets permission to build a Camaro without compromise. It laps racetracks faster than cars costing triple while still being docile enough for your daily commute if you're insane enough to try. The supercharger whine mixing with V8 thunder creates a soundtrack that sounds like American victory. Stand on it and the acceleration is violent enough to make your vision blur. The magnetic suspension keeps everything composed, while the limited slip differential manages all that power without just turning it into tire smoke. It's a legitimate weapon wearing a muscle car costume. Still can't see out of it though. Level 5. Good. Ford Mustang Shelby GT 500. 760 supercharged horsepower channeled through a dual-clutch transmission because no manual could survive this abuse. The GT 500 is Ford taking the Mustang platform and asking, how much is too much, then adding 50 more horsepower just to be sure. The supercharger whine is loud enough to hear from blocks away, announcing your arrival like an air raid siren. Floor it, and the world compresses into tunnel vision. The dual clutch fires off shifts faster than your brain processes what's happening. The aero generates actual downforce that you can feel pushing the car into the pavement. This is a muscle car with a doctorate, combining old-school American power with new-school European execution. It'll run with supercars costing twice as much while sounding 10 times better. Dodge Challenger Hellcat. 717 supercharged horsepower in a car that responds to throttle inputs like you just insulted its mother. The Hellcat will light up tires at highway speeds if you're not careful. It requires constant attention because 17 horses are always looking for an opportunity to remind you who's actually in charge here. This is Dodge saying, we could build a balanced sports car, or we could stuff a supercharger on a Hemi and see what happens. They chose chaos and everyone wins. The Hellcat is objectively stupid, absolutely impractical, and completely glorious. It's peak muscle car philosophy where more is always better, and consequences are for people with sensible shoes. Level 6. Great. Dodge Challenger Hellcat Redeye. 797 horsepower because Dodge looked at 17 and decided that was for amateurs. The Redeye will hit 203 miles per hour given enough road, which means it's faster than most supercars and makes noises that would make a NASCAR crew chief weep with joy. The wider body accommodates fatter tires that still aren't enough to contain this madness. This is muscle car excess taken to its logical extreme and then pushed 50 horsepower further. It's too much for public roads, illegal in several driving scenarios, and absolutely perfect for making memories you'll tell at barbecues for decades. The Redeye is what happens when engineers stop listening to lawyers. Dodge Challenger SRT Demon, 808 horsepower on pump gas, 840 on race fuel. Dodge removed the passenger seat to save weight, installed a trans brake, and included tools for mounting drag radials. The Demon is the first production car to wheelie off the line, pulling the front wheels up like it's offended by gravity. This isn't a muscle car, it's a drag racing missile with license plates. Dodge built 3,300, and every single one proves that American excess is alive and well. The Demon is what happens when a manufacturer asks, how far can we push this? And ignores everyone who says stop. Level 7. GOAT, 1970. Plymouth Hemi Cuda. The 426 Hemi supposedly made 425 horsepower, but manufacturers lied to keep insurance companies from fleeing in terror. The real number was closer to 500. The shaker hood scoop moved with the engine like it was alive. The pistol grip shifter felt like pulling a slot machine lever. The rear end would break loose in 3 gears if you breathed wrong on the throttle. Only 652 Hemi Cudas were built in 1970. Today they're worth 7 figures because people finally understand what they had. This is muscle car royalty, the car that made grown men take out second mortgages for performance that terrified them. Pure American excess with zero apologies. 1969 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. Only 69 were built with the all-aluminum 4.27 V8. The engine officially made 430 horsepower. The real number was closer to 500, and everyone knew it. The ZL1 cost more than a Corvette when new, which made zero business sense and perfect enthusiast sense. Chevy built these for drag racers who needed street-legal vehicles. A handful of civilians figured out what was happening and grabbed one. Today, a ZL1 Camaro is worth over $1 million. This is what muscle car legend looks like. Absurd power, limited production, and a story worth telling. The ZL1 is muscle car mythology made real. So which level muscle car would you drive every day, and which one are you saving for special occasions? Comment below, leave a like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell for more automotive history that actually matters.